Thank you. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you. I just have a question for the Blue Party. You say poor choices. You made a poor choice with bailing out the Crystal Company, but that was a poor choice on your behalf. It is your responsibility to figure out what is viable and which is not. Bringing up the case in the United States with Obama, he did not choose to bail out every single company. He chose ones that he knew are going to contribute again back to us. So I feel that by just destroying all of them, by saying no bailouts to anyone, is not helping to solve the problem. I'm not telling you to bail out every single company that comes to your door and asks you for money, but we need to be smart about this. We're politicians and we're economists. We should understand which companies are going to be viable and which companies are going to be able to recover with the aid, with the financial aid given, and which companies are just going to use that within greed. So it's up to us to figure out which companies are worth the input, with the taxpayers' money, and which are not. Just telling all private businesses, small businesses, that they cannot get anything is not going to help at all. We're just going to send more people out west. We're just going to send more of our jobs away, and we're not going to create a strong labour force in Nova Scotia.
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Boom and bust. It has been spoken of. It is natural. It is the economy. Government meddling in the economy only ever proves detrimental. Putting in bailouts just puts our hand in even stronger, and we're a governing body, not a business. We do not do business in that way. It will not help those businesses as any. And if these businesses so desperately need this money just so they can survive, what, another month, another 2 months, they will be surviving only to fall victim to this same chance next time it rolls around. Ignoring one of their major problems in their business is not going to help them any. Providing financial aid to these businesses that have been affected by this financial downturn, they say by not doing this, we will leave many people unemployed. They speak of anarchy and other such things, which is quite ridiculous, to be frank. To bail people out will cut into money from other sectors of our budget. We cannot afford to do that, quite frankly. It is in the bill. We will lose more jobs. We will lose higher paid jobs that are very important. Doctors. They're very important. They're hard to get. They're hard to educate. We lose them as it is. We need the ones we have. I'm astonished that they are so playing this blame game. We talk of who caused this recession. It matters not. It is completely irrelevant to our current discussion, and I would appreciate it if that sort of thing was not continued, because it is useless. Thank you.
The member from Dartmouth North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, first I'd like to start by saying we have a very confused government over there. So far, we have gone from no bailouts to they can apply for bailouts to no bailouts to there'll be some bailouts, but then again, there's going to be no bailouts. We've also heard the finance minister herself use both of these ideas in succession. So we really don't know what's going on over there, and we believe that said government needs to decide what they are trying to propose here. Now, either way, whatever they decide, it's still a bad bill. First of all, if you decide that there are going to be some bailouts, and these bailouts are going to go to people who can prove that they are not suffering an economic crisis because of recent economic issues, how are you going to decide what is due to our economic downturn and what isn't? we're going to have issues like Nova Scotia, Crystal going on, where it's going to go, the bailouts are going to go to friends and political connections. So we really, it's not, first of all, it's tough to say how we will decide who gets what in this sense. Now, if they decide to run the other way with this, where no one gets any economic bailouts, well, we have another issue entirely there. The finance minister has said at the beginning that side government wants to protect all Nova Scotians, which is great. I am all for that. But this bill does not protect all Nova Scotians. This bill does not protect any Nova Scotians, except the lucky few have managed to stay afloat in this economic downturn. Now, this bill, in fact, hurts many Nova Scotians, but that doesn't sound like, you can't really relate with that when you say just many Nova Scotians. So let's try and look at specifically who it affects. It affects small businesses. It affects cultures in towns. It affects families because there are going to be so many job losses happening. It affects families with kids. Side government is essentially throwing these families into poverty and onto the streets, and we can't have that, Mr. Speaker. Hear, hear. So in conclusion, if this bill passes, this just goes to show that it's only the lucky who get through. This just goes to show that we have a cruel government and a harsh government. We want a government that cares for all Nova Scotians, and this isn't by proposing this bill, they have shown that they clearly don't. Thank you. That's all I have to say for now.
Thank you. The Speaker would like to notify all House members that if I've nodded at you, you are on the list to speak. However, there is quite the large list of people who are wishing to speak, so please be patient. We'll get to you. The member from Richmond.
Mr. Speaker, the government has said that they don't want to play the blame game, but they've also said that the government doesn't meddle within business, that we do not meddle within the way our money is spent. But that's exactly what they did with the Crystal company that they gave. See, they said that they don't want to give bailouts anymore because these bailouts are just going to be given to companies that don't need them, like the Crystals. Well, the thing was, it was a bad choice of who gave out the money. The fact that the money was given out was not the problem. It's who gave it out and who it was given to. See, if that money would have went to a company that could survive through this economic downfall and that could make it through,